Hello, friends. Hi. This is once again Anson Thomas, a voice for the voiceless. And today I would like to share with you the insensitivity of the Honorable Supreme Court in a matter which came before them. I would like to just read one of the articles which appeared describing the act as the grossest kind of indiscipline. The Supreme Court on Tuesday dismissed a former Christian officer's plea challenging his termination from the armed force after he allegedly refused to participate in regimental religious activities at the sanctum sanctorium of a temple at a place of his posting. A bench comprising Chief Justice Suryakant and Justice Joymala Bagchi refused to interfere with a Delhi High Court decision that upheld the Army's action, saying Samuel Kamelesan conduct was incompatible with military discipline. I would like to further read something which Justice Bagchi asked when the argument was going on. Article 25 protects essential religious features, not every sentiment. Where in the Christian faith is entering a temple barred? Justice Bagchi asked. Dear friends, for me, it appears that Justice Joymala Bagchi does not know about Christian faith and about the Bible. And that is the reason he has made such a note asking this question. Further, they say, you may be outstanding in 100 things, but the Indian Army is known for its secular approach. You have failed to respect the sentiments of your own soldiers, the CGI said in response to the submissions that the penalty of dismissal from the service may be done away with. This matter was taken up soon after Chief Justice Suryakant assumed office as the Chief Justice of India after taking his oath. But it's very sad that an Indian Army officer, Samuel Kamelesan, was dismissed. And as I earlier said, the Justice Bagchi is not knowing what the Christian faith is, that he made such a note over there asking a question. Where does it say that in Christian faith entering a temple is barred? It's very clear in the Bible. In Exodus chapter 20 verse 3, you shall have no other gods before me. So it's very clear. And that is the reason Samuel Kamelesan, an officer who respected the army, who donned the army uniform, performed his duties. But when it came to his faith, he had to stand for his faith. Because here on one side, the Chief Justice is saying about secularism, Sarvadal Sthal, and all those things, but there was only the Hindu temple over there, and there was no place as Sarvadal Sthal or a Christian church. So that does not mean that the Christians or the Muslims should go into the Hindu sanctorium and bow down over there or even stand over there. My thought to this particular aspect is maybe in some other country where the majority is Christians, and if they have got a church in a army setup, And if Hindus or Muslims are asked to go inside the church, and if they refuse, is it justice that they are dismissed from service? Will not all the others say that this is injustice? Or in a Muslim country, if the Christians or Hindus, they are forced to go to the mosque and bow down, what will be the response of the Hindus and the Christians? So it's very clear. And that's the reason I mentioned in my initial talk that the Honorable Supreme Court was insensitive in hearing this matter. Here in the Bible, those people who are believers know what the Bible is and what the Bible says. The Honorable Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, quote about a pastor coming and advising the Army Officer Samuel Kamelesan that it is okay. But for Samuel Kamelesan, it was not okay to go in the inner sanctum over there, where it was of some other faith. And that is where his conscience did not permit him to go over there inside. And today, the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court has upheld the decisions of the Indian Army. Yes, he has been dismissed from service. But when people and court rejects, God welcomes such type of people when you hold on to your faith. I'm not trying to question any other faith. I'm not trying to demean any other faith. But we have to respect every faith, every religion. In the Bible, in the book of Daniel, there was this king Nebuchadnezzar who had made a big golden image of himself, and he sent a what you call like order that all the people of the country and all over should come and bow down before his image. But then there were three youngsters, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were there in his court, in the king's court, where they served. They did not bow down. And for this, the king was furious. And the king tells him, I want to see who is this God who can save you from the fire that you will be thrown into. And that is where these three youngsters who were serving in the court of King Nebuchadnezzar said, even if God does not save us, we will not bow down before your image. And even if you throw us in the fire. These three youngsters were tied up and thrown in the fire. And the king thought that that is the end of it. But it was the beginning, where the king was astonished to see they were not just three, but four, and the fourth appeared like the Son of Man. And immediately he pulls them out from the fiery furnace. And I'm not going much into detail. So it's not just Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But here is a Samuel Kamelesan too, who has stood and said no, because the Bible says so. Maybe the Chief Justice of India Suryakant and Joymala Bagchi, Justice, who asked this question, may not be aware of it. And that is the reason Samuel Kamelesan has to pay the price. But then God honors such type of people. When everyone rejects, God will not reject. It is very sad that the Indian Army has lost a very efficient officer. And dear brother Samuel Kamelesan, our prayers are with you. And there are many other people too who are praying for you. I do not know you. I have not met you. But I am so happy that you stood for your faith and even to go through the fiery furnace experience of being dismissed from service. But God honors you. I am not trying to support something where you have committed indiscipline or something which you have done wrong, because I am against all those things. But then the Indian Army too, in future, should be sensitive, because when we call and say that the Indian Army is secular, people of all religions are a part of the Indian Army, where Hindus and Muslims and Christians and Sikh and all other religion, name it, are a part of the Indian Army. Then we should give that space to them to worship. And you cannot say that, yes, these people should come and bow down over there or stand over there. And just because they did not, because their conscience, their mind, they would feel guilty about it, which the others are not understanding about the faith and practice. And maybe in future, as this judgment has already been delivered by the Honorable Supreme Court, by the two bench, Chief Justice and Justice Joymala Bagchi, maybe if there is an appeal, I am sure that the bench would be sensitive in understanding what the Bible says about going and standing in a temple or bowing down before other gods. Again, I am not trying to criticize any other religion or any other god, but I just want to bring forth and show what Samuel Kamelesan's faith is and what he stood for. And my prayers and blessing for Samuel Kamelesan, for his future. God bless him and many others who stand for the faith. Shalom. Thank you very much.